Well, good day, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your SPDR ETF stock market wrap-up. And it is June 3rd. I find it hard to say June 3rd, to be all honest, because I know that we're going to be in September before I know what's going on. It flies. I guess as you get older, it flies. Remember when we were kids? I mean, really, kids. 7, 8, 10 years old. Summer went on forever. That's what I remember. Wow. All right. So looking at the markets, tomorrow's a big, important day. You know, you're going to get some economic data that you got to pay attention to. You can just drop down right here. The JOLTS numbers coming out. So the job openings last month were 8.488 million jobs. A higher number means employers are still looking to hire a lot of people. A lower number, they're filling the jobs and the job market's weakening a bit. So you're going to want to see where that comes in. They're looking for already on Friday's report of the jobs report, and that's going to be a big one, 3.9% unemployment rate. We'll see what that does, and we'll see what the amount of wages going up or down will be. You have two central banks moving this week, potentially. The European Central Bank looks like a lock-in to go 25-point cut, but the Bank of Canada could go either which way. It's going to be very, very important. So get yourself ready for all this because it's right on top of you. And we're fighting a battle in the market. Now, the battle that the market is fighting is bad news finally in the stock market bad news? Because so far, remember, if you got weakening economic data that was good for the market, it means the Fed's going to have to cut interest rates. That'll spur on the economy. Well, right now, you're at the phase where you might be at a slight change or a change where bad news is bad news. I don't know. The market's fighting that every day right now, but it's front and center, and you've got to pay attention to it. When we look at what happened today, NVIDIA, again, a strong gain. I mean, that's a 5% gain almost just today that the market put on. Yet AMD put on its show with them, and I thought their show was great, and the market was down 2%. So it depends what you're in. Copper, I thought would hold better than this because, in the futures market, copper was up 6.5 cents. Not yet paying attention. Gold and silver did pay attention. So copper could be a catch-up play tomorrow that you look at. Amazon's making a fight to say maybe the 176 level is a support zone in the marketplace. Netflix was down about $8, as you can see when you look at it. AMC, one of these meme stocks, I like what's going on there. So now what you've got is E-Trade with a dilemma. Now, having owned a stock firm, I can tell you from a compliance, it is a rough game to own. I didn't own a division, I owned a firm. And it's really rough, all right? Because as this Mr. Gill, the kitty guy, as I'll call him, as he's posting these pictures, what's he really doing? I mean, it's not a leap of faith for the SEC to say he's moving the market by doing that. On the other hand, he's certainly not telling people to buy. He's telling people maybe what he did. How do you interpret it? So suddenly it's gotten the attention of the marketplace and probably the SEC and for certain E-Trade. They are debating, should they allow him to keep trading with them or do they get rid of him? Now, the fear for them is they'll lose not only him, but they lose his followers on E-Trade. That could happen. The other fear for them, if they do nothing, what is the SEC going to come at them with, if anything? Have they been guilty of anything? It doesn't matter. They got to pay the lawyers to defend them. They have to decide on now what's right both from a cash basis and what's right from a regulatory basis. I wouldn't want to be in their shoes. It's a terrible position. Bonds and notes getting a bit of a rally as the market is thinking, okay, we're starting to see weakness in certain numbers that are coming out. We saw today we had S&P's numbers and ISM as they were looking at the economy, and they're seeing that the funny numbers are starting to happen, and the market looks like it's weakening on certain parts, and that gives you, well, maybe we don't have to go up in rates. You fell about 10 basis points in the 10-year note today. So if we could, let's take a look and see what the charts are doing. And again, New chart, and this is one of the people on my Facebook that had me do this. I'll be writing him this week. I was going to do it today. We got buried with action in the market, but I am, and I'll give him something for free. Each week I'm going to ask you on Friday, what do you want me to cover? And sometimes multiple people gave me the same thing. I'll be the judge and jury as to which one. You're all basically under hidden names on Facebook. So when I write you there, you're going to have to write me back in a way that I can prove that it's just who you are by going there. I'm going to work with my IT department to figure that out tomorrow. But you can see how the market's falling apart. And this is Invesco's actively managed exchange-traded fund trust. Okay, so I don't think they're doing too well. The value of the trust just fell from $14.20 to $13.84. The market has gone into a vertical price decline. It's down to the Bollinger Band, and I would say between here and 1378 is probably going to find some support. Now, what market's probably weighing on it? Energies. And the reason is that OPEC over the weekend decided to change what they're doing. Now, let me explain this so that you understand what I mean by they're changing. They're going to keep the 3.66 million barrels a day cut that the production cut quotas were allocated. It's the voluntary cuts that are at risk. They're going to start in October, cutting those down by some number. It sounds like it's a 12th every month, about 750,000 barrels a day until that's not in place. And the UAE is going to be able to put out another 300,000 barrels. So, number one, this was not about driving prices higher. It's more about how do they appease members with the market and put out more oil. That's not bullish, in my opinion, and that's what I told my futures traders yesterday, and luckily that's exactly what happened. So we'll see where you come here, but my guess is this is heavily weighted in energy, and they got hurt with that. Again, you're under the Bollinger Bands coming down, and you're oversold. So wherever it's going, it probably gets overdone on this move to some degree. When we look at Walmart, these are new highs. So this company, Costco, went for a new high today. New rating companies came out, the new banks that are covering it, and they're saying higher highs coming. And retail, select retail, is on fire. Select retail, not all retail. When we go to Tesla, I still don't understand why people don't want to pay this man. I've watched on TV everything. He built the company. You had a contract with him. Why should that be null and void? Why is it even voted on? Because he's making billions. He's made people multimillionaires that have invested with him. Yeah, the stock has gone down, and they're saying, well, that's not the performance we wanted. Why is he getting that? Because if you bought early on, how well have you done? But that's what people want to do. Do you keep his attention? Can you? The argument is he can't run these many companies and be doing the job he used to do at Tesla. And number one, I don't know that that's true, okay? That's big speculation on the people saying that. This is not your average run-of-the-mill Joe. This is, for us, probably the greatest entrepreneur that I've run into. Entrepreneur since Howard Hughes, all right? And that's saying a heck of a lot. In FCX, lower highs, lower lows, coming down. When we take a look here in UGA, lower highs, lower lows, still coming down in the gasoline. So all the energies got hit, and that would probably explain why that fund got hit. Now, if you look at the financial services, should this market get back up and over 41.68 and not take out this 40.70 level, be aware, you could get a bullish signal. If the market breaks, 40.82 is the next support zone. In XLI, an outside day down. So outside days are number one, when they're down and the market's been in a downtrend, a continuation pattern. It went to the first number of support, might be making its way to 120.69. We already have a market that's got readings under 30, it's oversold. And if on Tuesday or Wednesday you take out this high, it's a sign of a trap for those that are bearish. But you got to get a long ways up to get to today's highs, about $2 higher. In RSPD, all I keep hearing is the consumer is dead. Well, that's not what this is saying. The market came up, it's overbought, but it's fought through an awful lot. All I hear on every report, I read them, I hear them, well, the consumer doesn't have, they're chewing up their credit cards and doing this and that. Okay, but they're still a powerful force. In the home builders, we did get back to the 18-day average where I thought it would fail. Now, this is an important season for the home builders. If they don't get something up and going very shortly, we have big problems for them. So this is worth watching. It hasn't thrown out a buy or a sell signal. I'd be watching it. Energy, obviously, with the OPEC, I was bearish all the way through and still am. Now, keep your eye on gold. If the market closes back over 218.45, you negate the downtrend, and this could be where the market tries to lift a bit in the marketplace. The resistance, 218.45. Silver typically is a bit weaker in this month than the gold market on a historical basis. Momentum is just turned down. You made your first move since you lost the embedded reading right here back to the 18-day average today. Congratulations, but it gave you an idea how strong the market was. It took all that time to get that done. Copper's still bearish, but very oversold. It's trying in the futures to come up. This market just couldn't go with it, which is strange. Normally, if the futures go, you get your action here. We'll see if this comes alive tomorrow or not. In TLT, well, you don't want to touch, in my opinion. You can do whatever you want. BND or TLT, why do you want to step into the JOLTS report? I mean, you're going to have no say. It's all going to be psychological trading, and all you got now is a higher high, lower low. You found your support, as I predicted you would. If when you hit the Bollinger Band, go back on my tapes, go back 4 days ago, and I said, first challenge, pros are probably covering all their shorts there. Now the market's back to pretty much neutral territory. UUP, the dollar index. I gave you the arguments. I was just saying, are the currencies that are going to cut interest rates going to be bullish or bearish? The dollar isn't, and it's coming down, and the euro, which is supposed to, is coming up. Neither are trending per se, but you can see what they're doing right there. So you put it together, and you got to go, whoa, this is a neat transition time. Another thing I heard on CNBC was the sell May go away didn't work because May was up. That's not true in my opinion. I met Yale Hirsch. I asked him questions about it, and I said, is there a day? Because some people think, well, it's May 1st. No, he said, it's the month of May. And if you come down in the month of May, or May should be the top, we look at it. Well, to me, getting up to all-time highs in May, you mark that off on your chart. If you take it out, then you could make a strong argument, well, sell May go away didn't work. But if you don't take out those highs and you stop dropping back in June, July, why didn't it work? So my beauty is I'm old enough to have met some of these guys, had them on my TV show, Stocks, Options, and Futures. I know he's got a son that's in the business running that part of it. You might want to look at him up, Yale Hirsch, Stock Traders Almanac, the company, and write his son. Maybe he can give you the right answer. I talked to the man, and I'm happy with what Yale told me. So that's where we're at on that. All right. Now, in looking at this, when I look at the market and you see what we do, we write on all these markets. Now, I know you're saying copper, gold, silver, the energies. They're all based on the futures, these ETFs. All right? Stock indices, they're based on the futures markets. So when you see what we do, it gives you, I think, an energy in financial markets, a bit of a different look as to what the grain people are looking at, what the meat people are. We're just talking about a fund that is basically geared to the commodity markets. This is what you want to look at. What's going on? Why is it going up or down? Where are you? So you get all this. How do you get it? You simply go to our website at iraepstein.com. On the left, you'll see free offers. Give it a click. Move your cursor up here. Give that a click, and away you go. With that, I'm Ira. You have yourself a great day. I will catch up with you all first thing in the morning as we look at the JOLTS report, or it's about to come out. I'll probably do my update about 30 minutes before it comes out, but we'll get some of these other reports discussed. You have a good one.